Hafa day, everybody. Welcome to Fiesta Friday. I'm Jason Salas, and we have a great show for you tonight. We're talking about all things that make Guam so very wonderful and what makes Guam a very diverse place to live. And we start off with news about the judiciary of Guam's newest court. Now, you may have seen a story, you probably streamed it on our YouTube channel earlier this week, about the Guam Adult Reentry Court. And presiding Judge Alberto Lemarena is here, and we are talking about that very topic. Your Honor, welcome back.
Okay, thank you for inviting me, Jason.
Yeah, well, an honor to have your honor.
Okay. Thank you.
like playing around with wordplay there. But
right.
Of course, as I was saying, we ran a story with this earlier in the week. And I remember the last time when we had you in studio is you were talking, as was the Chief Justice of the Supreme Court, about the recidivism rate on Guam and just making sure that once we hopefully rehabilitate people who find themselves incarcerated, that they wind up not going back and creating like a cycle and everything. So kind of like explain, if you can, the philosophy behind the court.
Okay, the philosophy behind this adult reentry court is the same philosophy we have in our other therapeutic courts, like the adult drug court, the family violence court, which I'm a big promoter of. The philosophy is to break the cycle of the person is in. Like in family violence court, it's a cycle of power and control over an individual. We try to modify that behavior and break that behavior. For people who are addicted to drugs and alcohol, we try to break that cycle of addiction. Now, for the people in reentry court, we try to stop the revolving door to the Department of Corrections. The Department of Corrections gave us a statistic on the recidivism rate of people coming out of the Department of Corrections to parole, and 55% of the people in the first year come back to the criminal justice system. That's a pretty high rate.
That's alarming. I would even say 33% would be like cause for concern. That's roughly a third.
Yes,
but
55% is really very alarming.
That's practically the divorce rate in the country. 1 out of every 2.
Yes, yeah, unfortunately.
Exactly.
But these are the people that we are very concerned about, because they're just in a cycle, a revolving door cycle. They're released, they come in, they're released, they come in, and we're trying to break that cycle, and we're trying to find out why all these people keep coming back. So the adult reentry court is trying to address that problem. What we're trying to do is we're going to do a risk assessment need for all these individuals. We're going to assess why are they coming back to the criminal justice system, what makes them come back. So we're going to assess them to see what they need. Is it because of criminogenic risks? Is it because of other factors? And so what we're going to do is create an adult reentry court, and also to address to assess the risk assessments of all these individuals. What we're trying to target is the medium and high risk individuals, those people who are highly likely to come back to prison. And then we're trying to address their needs through find out what the criminogenic behavior is all about. We're trying to identify whether or not they have a high antisocial behavior as far as attitudes, high social anti-behavior as far as beliefs of what they believe, high social behavior as far as personality, and also who they associate with. Just Jason, a good example is, okay, we rent an apartment. People like you and me will say, well, I got to get a job to pay for that apartment, right? For a person who has these criminogenic tendencies, they'll get an apartment, but what do they think? Okay, how do I pay for an apartment? They don't think about getting a job. They think about, well, I'll sell some drugs, or I'll rob a grocery store, some people, or I'll burglarize a home.
Or borrow money from somebody and not pay them back.
And not pay them back. And so that's the way they think. What we're trying to do is modify that behavior, modify the criminogenic behavior, and hopefully through treatment, we'll respond to their needs so we can hopefully rehabilitate them and bring them back to our community.
Now, Your Honor, with this being a new court and a new program, are you basing a lot of what will go into the treatment on data collected from the mainland, like pertinent to that behavior, or are you basically like starting fresh and over the first, like say a couple of years, you're actually going to build like a number of studies and everything and say this is what we found already, and we can structure our program like this?
I'm a firm believer that you don't have to reinvent the wheel when it's there. There are about 20 or 30 reentry courts in the United States. It's a very small number. In fact, Guam is one of the first, and I think the person that Crystal talked to last night, Guam is the first court jurisdiction of our size to have a reentry court. So it's a very exciting, moment for the judiciary of Guam, because it shows that the Department of Justice, Bureau of Justice and Assistance believes in the confidence of the judiciary of Guam to implement these programs. These three experts came to Guam because they're experts on reentry courts, and they're helping us plan a planning and implementation guide so that we can establish this court here in Guam. So they were here for 4 days. They met with everybody, all the stakeholders from all the government of Guam agencies, all three branches of government, all non-government organizations, private faith-based organizations, private sector, to get an idea what we have here. And their overall impression, as Crystal's interview last night, is that they were very impressed with the amount of resources that we have here. All they have to identify now is to see where we can enhance or maximize the resources that we have now, or identify where we have to fill in the gaps.
Well, I would say as we head into commercial break, you know, like this, certainly this is a new endeavor for the judiciary, and as it makes positive steps, we'll be there every step of the way because we want to see, you know, what comes out of this, because it's a very positive step.
I hope we will succeed, and we're very excited about it.
Well, congratulations, and we'll be talking to you about this some more.
Thank you, Jason. You have a good weekend.
Thank you.
Okay.
Please stay tuned, everybody. There is more show coming up. Fiesta Friday continues right after this.